That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, before we get into the video, I need to welcome all of the new members of the Fantasy Flock. I mean, we've had so many new subscribers over the past week. I really think it's safe to say that we are the fastest growing fantasy basketball channel on YouTube. And I really want to thank all of y'all for deciding to subscribe, as well as the people in Notification Gang who have hit that bell next to the subscribe button. But more importantly, I want to thank everybody that has been a part of the flock for a long time now. Y'all are the ones dropping likes on the videos. Y'all are the ones getting us recommended to new listeners. And I really appreciate all the support, as well as y'all supporting both Johnny and Garrett from Fantasy News and Brews as they are making their features on this channel throughout the week. I understand that a lot of y'all were a little bit hesitant with them at the beginning, but I think that y'all made the right decision in sticking it through with them and trusting me, as I am telling y'all right now. I promise you, they know what they're talking about. They are better than I am, so every time they can come on the channel, I welcome them, and they are going to continue to be a part of the Fantasy Flock Network, and I'm extremely excited of what we have going forward. But in this video, what we are going to be doing is I'm going to be going over about 5 or 6 players that I think we should be targeting as buy low candidates in our fantasy basketball leagues. Now, the majority of these guys have seen their value fallen over the past month or so. There are a couple guys here that we are actually going to be buying high, though. So they're just more so trade targets, as I think their value has not caught up with the amount of points they're putting up on the board and how much value they should hold in fantasy basketball. But let's get into it, and let's start it off with a player that is running extremely cold. His shots are just not going in, and this is going to be Trae Young. Now, I know, guys, at the very beginning of the season, after 3 or 4 games, everybody was on this Atlanta Hawks team saying, oh my God, Trae Young looks so good. Trae Young is going to be the next Steph Curry. And this is just what everybody falls into. I mean, they see a player start hot or start cold, and they don't understand how sample sizes work, and they just want to go all in or all out on a player without waiting a decent amount of time to see what a player truly is. And here with Trae Young, I mean, I think that he is a lot closer to what we saw at the very beginning of the season, where he was putting up great numbers. His shots from beyond the arc were going in. But as of now, I mean, Trae Young is in a free fall in our fantasy basketball leagues. I mean, if we look at his season-long numbers, 32 minutes, 23 points a game, we were expecting significantly more points from Trae Young. And the reason we are not seeing more points scored by Trae Young is because the efficiency. And not just his efficiency from the field, where he's shooting less than 40% from the field, but specifically his efficiency from beyond the arc, where he's shooting 27%. Now, obviously, if you're looking at the volume of threes that he is putting up at the same time, this number is horrendous. I mean, he is completely tanking the Atlanta Hawks with this kind of percentage. Now, obviously, this is not something that we expect to maintain, as this is by far and away a career low for Trae Young. And I'm never going to be expecting Trae Young to be a 40% player from beyond the arc because of the difficulty of shots that he decides to take, because he is shooting them from so far back on the court. I think that what we are going to be expecting is Trae Young to come closer into the 33, 34, 35% from 3, because he is an elite shooter, but his shot selection is not necessarily the best. Regardless of the case, he is definitely going to be able to turn around from this very cold streak. And he's actually averaging a career high with rebounds right now with about 4.5. And he has about 9 assists per game, which is par for the course. Guys, please understand with Trae Young, I mean, he is still extremely young. And we know that he is the centerpiece of this Atlanta Hawks rotation. I don't care about the drama that they have on that roster. The team is going to have to stick it out with Trae Young. Trae Young is going to continue to put up shots, and those shots are going to start going in. So if you can buy him on a discount, I highly advise doing so. And now, our next player that we're going to talk about is someone that I did not like in fantasy basketball drafts this past offseason, but with how far he's fallen, I think that he now represents a value, and this is Deandre Ayton. Okay, so with Deandre Ayton right now, I know a lot of people are expecting him to take that massive jump, based on the usage that he had in that rotation in the bubble. But right now, only 30 minutes a game, 13 points a game, 56% from the field. We obviously know Deandre Ayton is not going to be giving us any value from three, 12 rebounds a game, and only 2 assists. So the reason that we've seen Deandre Ayton fall off so sharply is because he is just not deciding to put up as many shots as he did at the end of last season. He is really being smart with that shot selection and letting the offense flow. I mean, we are seeing very similar things with both Devin Booker and Deandre Ayton, where they're being more so team players at the moment rather than just guys that are wanting to get theirs. And I think this shows so much from the 22-year-old who still has a ton of room to develop. And in a season where we know that we are missing players every single night due to COVID protocols, I think a player like Deandre Ayton, who is seemingly an extremely safe investment that can continue to progress throughout the course of the season, who can continue to expand his role if anything happens in the rotation around him. I think that at this point, if you're going to be able to get a significant discount compared to where he was going in fantasy basketball drafts a couple months ago, I think that is going to be a great value. All right, so now our next player is going to be someone that has skyrocketed this season, but I think we need to be buying him high, and this is Malcolm Brogdon. Okay, so with Brogdon, I mean, here I know, guys, he is already averaging 37 minutes a game, 22 points, 47% from the field, over 40% from three, 4 rebounds, 7.5 steals, 7.5 assists, and 2 steals. But the reason that we are wanting to buy Malcolm Brogdon high is we know Victor Oladipo is off of this team, combined with the fact that the player that they traded to bring on, Caris LeVert, we have no idea when he's going to play. I mean, wishing all the best for Caris LeVert, but for Malcolm Brogdon's fantasy value, I mean, he is just going to have such a high usage rate in this rotation. He is going to continue to see a ridiculous amount of minutes as he is currently in his prime. We know this is his 5th season, and they just need someone to give the ball to. And he's not killing you with efficiency. He's not killing you with assists, rebounds, his defensive statistics. I mean, everything is there. And that usage is going to maintain in the rotation. So please, if you can, I mean, I would love to move someone that has a star name attached to them and pick up Malcolm Brogdon, possibly on the cheap. I mean, if you could trade right now Kyrie Irving, I would add something to Kyrie Irving to get to Malcolm Brogdon, and I would not even really have to think about it. Okay. So now our next player I know is also someone that was impacted by the James Harden trade. A lot of people were interested in seeing how his usage in his own rotation was going to change, but he's looked like a superstar, and this is Christian Wood. Okay, right now with Christian Wood, I know a lot of people are saying without James Harden, he's not going to see the easy looks. We're not going to see the spacing on the court. He's not going to see those dime passes, and he's not going to be as efficient as he was. But here it does not matter because the usage has increased to a point where Christian Wood is the centerpiece on this Houston Rockets team, averaging 24 points right now, 54% from the field. And we know that he is giving you good three-point usage for the center position, 11 rebounds, almost 2 blocks a game. I mean, with Christian Wood, he is a true difference maker, and I think that we are going to continue to expect him to put out this amount of production every single game, just because this Rockets offense needs a spark. Okay, so now our next player is going to fit right along with a Christian Wood, right along with the Malcolm Brogdon, someone that you're going to be paying up for, but I think it's going to be worth it, and this is Zach LaVine. Okay, so one of the most surprising things here is I know, guys, it feels like Zach LaVine has been in the NBA for the past 2 decades. It feels like he should have been going up against Michael Jordan with how long we have been talking about him. But he is still only 25 years old, and I know he has suffered some injuries in his past, but I think we can clearly look at what he's been able to accomplish in 2020 so far and just say that he has completely recovered from those, and we don't have to worry about them coming back to haunt him. And he is currently averaging 35 minutes a game, 27 points, 50% from the field, almost 40% from three. And with this 3-point percentage, what's more important is he is shooting the 3 ball with volume. That is how he is getting spacing. That is how he is being able to attack the basket, because he is willing to put up that shot, so the defenders are having to close in on him. 5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and a steal and half a game. So, I mean, he is covering every single basis for a category league, and obviously he is going to be a stud in those point formats. So Zach LaVine, another player that I'm wanting to target. Okay, so now our last player is going to be someone that I am definitely going to be just holding in a regular point league, but if you're playing in a category league, this is where I think we can go out there and attack, and this is going to be Gordon Hayward. Okay, so Gordon Hayward, on the surface, it does not seem like he is jumping off the page with 22 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 steals a game, but for a category league, I mean, Gordon Hayward is a fantastic player, and this is because his efficiency. I mean, if you look at how he makes his free throws, if you look at his efficiency from the field, I mean, Gordon Hayward is someone that is definitely going to raise you in both of those categories while not killing you in any other category. So I think he's a very solid asset that you could have for that league format. In a point league, I'm not too concerned about going out there and trading for him. But in the category league, when LaMelo Ball is getting him some great looks off the ball, I think we have to be excited about Gordon Hayward. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop that like, leave that comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And yeah, that's it. I will see y'all with the video tomorrow.